Alrighty, so we have to talk about the Part 2 LR. What are we expecting for this specific one, more pertinent to the Dokkan Fest of Buhan, right? There should be some pretty obvious answers here on who it could potentially be, but I'm going to give you the reason for why, you know, the thumbnail character as well as the leading prediction, I don't think is going to happen, just because of the way that things are working, right? I think that, like, if it ends up being Super Vegito, I would not be surprised one bit. Like, you're not going to catch me being like, whoa, like, no way, it's Super Vegito, right? Like, I can't believe this, but I think that Vegito, like, despite him being like a good choice for a Part 2 LR, I just don't see them doing that specifically for like a Carnival LR in the middle of December, when they could just pivot to Super Vegito for the anniversary, and more likely than not, the amount of profit that they would see from a Super Vegito during the anniversary, especially a big anniversary like the 10th one, being the synced anniversary, the first one of that kind, I just don't see a reason for them to hold off on a Super Vegito character when they can invest more dev resources into that Super Vegito when it's an anniversary unit, or they could potentially make the animations better, and they could potentially make more money as well doing it during the anniversary rather than the pre-Christmas dry period, right, of Dokkan, which is kind of what we're in right now. We did get a new Dokkan Fest, but just need to keep that in mind when we are talking about what's going on here in today's video. So, the Dokkan Fest, I'm sure most of you know at this point. Buhan, we'll pull him up just briefly. The characters that he is going to be helping, power absorption or transformation boost. So we should look at power absorption and see if they want to stay within that category, right? Who is on this category that potentially could see an LR in this Part 2 celebration, right? Or Part 2 of this celebration in specific. I think that there are not a ton of options in terms of power absorption, right? There always is a chance that we could get like an LR Cell, right? People love Cell. There's always a chance. Is it high? I don't think so, but I think at least floating the idea out, I think is not the worst idea, right? Just kind of looking at this category, it's like we have Super Boos, we have Android 13. Don't think we're getting a Super 13 LR. Would I be shocked? No, but I don't think so, right? Boo Saga, I think, is more pertinent to what we're talking about. But with that being said, I don't think power absorption is really seeing much. But one thing we need to keep in note for the next portion of this prediction, right? I don't think there's going to be anything from this category. I think Buhan is where it's going to stop. There is a mission for one of the events. I think it's either the Red Zone or something along those lines. I couldn't find the exact source, but I know it exists. There's a mission coming up specifically that requires 6 Potara characters, right? So I have the Potara category pulled up here. Now, as is, like, for difficult content, is this team good? Absolutely not. But is this team, like, you could item your way through an event? Sure, right? Super Vegito, Fusion Zamasu, Rose Goku Black, right? This Vegito Blue is about to get a massive 5th anniversary buff. Just sort of those yearly anniversary buffs that they are doing. I think that this character potentially could be seeing a ton of play. This 3rd anniversary Goku and Vegeta, I think their buffs are running out soon, so they're not going to be there, but Rose's EZA, right? Like, these are okay characters, but to a point where you can item your way through a category mission, right? But potentially, what we could be seeing is a Part 2 LR, right? That could be getting a buff from Potara. So, who are the most likely characters to get these buffs? We already talked about Super Vegito, but I want to call it back to a time, right? A time and a place where, you know, Dokkan really cooked, right? And if we go back to the Majin Buu saga, right? Do you guys remember last year when Dokkan Festival Kale dropped? And then for Part 2, we were thinking like LR Kefla, LR Jiren, something like that. No. What did they give us? They gave us LR Majin Buu, or Super Buu. So, wouldn't it be funny if we got LR Buhan, and then for Part 2, because this Potara mission potentially meaning something, we get an LR Kefla? Is this likely? I'm not going to say that, but if you want to get technical, right, there is a really good chance that this Kefla would be on Transformation Boost. So, what they would try and say is like, oh, look, this character's on Transformation Boost, they're on Potara, you can run them with the Vegito, you're going to be able to run this character and put them on a Potara team or on the Transformation Boost team, and guess who leads the Transformation Boost team? Aha, huzzah, right? Super Buu. So when Super Buu is going to be leading this category, I think that there is potential for a Part 2 LR Kefla. Do I think it is likely? Absolutely not. I think that it's super easy to say like the most likely scenario here is that we do get Super Vegito, but I honestly just don't think that's the case, right? And there is a chance that it's also not a Potara character, right? Like, just because that mission exists doesn't mean it's just like, okay, it's set in stone, this is what it's going to be, right? There could potentially be other things, but just looking at Buu Saga, it's just really tough, right? Like, who do you say here deserves a Part 2 LR, right? There's an obvious one in terms of an LR. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but where I'm putting my mouse right now, but like, if they want to potentially, like, I'm just gonna say it, right? Even though I don't think it's gonna happen, I'll be fully honest with you. Kid Buu, right? Like, if you want to put him on transformation boost, run him on the Buuhan skill or the Buuhan leader skill or whatever, right? Like, this is the time to do it, right? Power absorption and transformation boost. You do all that fun stuff. We do this, like, it helps out Buuhan. Like, you know, we make jokes that, like, or not even jokes, but like, we validly state that, like, the perfect time to do an LR Kid Buu would have been the 9th anniversary, right? Or not the 9th anniversary, the 8th anniversary. So with the 8th anniversary, them not doing it, it's like, this potentially could be another layup for who the Part 2 Dokkan, or the Part 2 Carnival LR will be, right? So Kid Buu, I think, is a decent guess. I don't think it's going to happen just because it's Kid Buu. But again, it's just like, you never know these things, right? It's the same thing with Super Vegito. I absolutely think that could be possible. It is really, really tough to say, though. That's why it's kind of fun to do these, because it's like, I can sit here and speculate and give you like a reason for Vegito. I can give you a reason against Vegito. My main reason against Vegito, if you guys, like, if I didn't make it clear, is just, I think that if they were going to do an LR Super Vegito, they would just save him for the anniversary. I don't think there's really any reason to kind of like go off of that and be like, oh, let's just toss him in as a December carnival, right? Like, I just don't see them doing that. So that's kind of how I feel about that situation. But Kefla, Kid Buu, Super Vegito, all likely options in my opinion. But all, like, when I say likely, I just mean like the leading candidates that people are thinking. I think that that is a really good way to sort of segue into the next part of this video, which is coming up now. Okay, so just quickly wanted to see some other community gauges here. Another potential option could be Gotenks, right? Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I think we're due. Like, if you really want to kind of like cope and go for like the other gacha, which this doesn't matter, but it's just kind of funny to talk about it. Like, if we think, and this is like the correlation, right? Legends kicked off their like Z movies campaign with Broly, and what did Dokkan do for Worldwide? Burori, right? So something to keep in mind. Legends just recently released an LF Gotenks, so maybe like they're like, hey, let's start talking about Gotenks. Maybe they potentially play a role in Daima or something like that, right? And a Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I think that is definitely possible. I think that would be a really cool option. But there we go, right? Just a couple predictions here. TLDR on this, I think Super Vegito is an option. I think Kid Buu is my favorite to pick this one up. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, I think, is another option. And last but not least, I have Kefla. So in the comment section below, let me know who you think the Part 2 LR is going to be. We're not going to know who it is by the time I upload this, so we are safe on that. But if you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like before you go, and subscribe if you are new, so that way you don't miss out on any of the Dokkan content we're posting around here. I upload a video every single day, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.